about both the old series, new series, manga, anything anybody feels like talking about. Completely up to you. This is kind of a free-for-all. I don't have too much of a flow chart of what I plan to do. Just I was hoping everyone would feel talking. Also, judgment-free zone. If you grew up with the English dub, don't make fun of somebody because they're saying Serena or Tuxedo Mask, because I say it, even though I'm more familiar with the Japanese version. I did grow up with the English version. I say Tuxedo Mask. I say Serena from every now and then. I say Amy and Tadamami. So no making fun of anybody for saying something different. Also, there is a lot of terms that get thrown out in Japanese that people who grew up watching the English show don't necessarily know. Can everyone hear me all right? Yeah. Okay, just check. We'll probably close the whole webinar right now. I'm sure the people that grew up with like the English dub probably don't know some of the Japanese terminology, or some people who grew up watching Japanese version don't know some of the English words. If you hear a word or something that you just don't know, feel free to raise your hand. Somebody here will answer for you. Not just me. I'm letting everybody hear answer. So if you don't know what Ginsu show is, just raise your hand. All right. So Salem is awesome. How many people are loving Moon Crystal so far? How many people are not loving it? Oh, that's okay. It's okay. It's all right. That's all right. I have a lot of friends that are upset about it. They're mainly upset because they still stuck with Usagi's original voice actress. Kotoni Mitsubishi is one of, I love her no matter how she gets. So far it seems like they're sticking pretty well to the manga. I myself have not read entirely through the manga. I'm ashamed for running this panel, and I haven't read the manga. Who has concerns about this new Crystal series? Like, who has a specific concern they would like to voice? Let's have Chibi.
The only thing that's kind of weird about it to me is the transformation. The like 3D art they kind of use there is just kind of weird. I was glad they didn't do the fighting scenes like that, because most animes that use that 3D art, they go ahead and they do everything like that. So
yeah. The CG thing has been a huge dent for everybody. Nobody seems to like it. It's like with I couldn't watch some of the Gundam series because they went into CG battles, and I'm like, this is so painful. Because I grew up with Gundam Wing, and I like those hand-drawn battles. They're very pretty, very just cool. And yeah, doing Maxwell anyway. So we got CG the transformations so far are the only thing in CG, right, that we've seen.
yeah, there's part of the opening.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. All right.
Yeah.
What about anybody other concerns? We got you right here in the white top.
I feel like I'm like, yay, it's back, but it's like when I see the new opening and ending, I'm like, oh, why did you stick to the original?
Was it like the art or something you don't like? Or?
No, I liked it. It's like I was talking about the song. I was like,
oh, the song.
I was like, where's our Sailor Moon song? We know that song.
I would have liked a revamp on the original song.
Yeah, I was the same way. Like, I can't stand the idol culture. So when I heard that some Moana Clover Seed or like a big idol group, I was like, oh my. But after seeing the opening and hearing all of it, it started to grow on me. So maybe if you kind of I guess open it like that, it's like okay. Because again, when I heard the clip months ago when I was leaked, it was like, oh, no, it's so yeah, it's very idol, it's very Akiba. Now it's just growing on me, and I have it on my iPod.
I didn't hear the word I think with my biggest concern so far is it's going to have the Full Metal Alchemist effect. Because when that first series of Full Metal Alchemist came out, everybody loved Full Metal Alchemist, and then Brotherhood came out, or so far everybody loved it. Then Brotherhood came out, and everyone's like, there was a previous Full Metal Alchemist series? I don't remember this. I'm concerned that everyone's going to forget about the original Sailor Moon series and just stick with Crystal. And that's why, because there's hundreds of episodes of the original, and I love it. I've watched all of it. And I'm just so sad to see it all getting washed down the drain by Crystal, but Crystal's still kind of good, you know. Any other concerns? So yeah, Blueberry.
What bothers me is the expressions just seem so dead. The eyes just seem dead. Like Usagi makes these ridiculous faces, and it's funny and it's silly, and it makes her, you know, likable. And without all the expressiveness, it just loses so much of the character. And not just Usagi, but that's just who Horses
Right.
takes a lot.
Like Usagi in the manga, she is a little more. She seems a little more. I don't want to say stoic, but she definitely wasn't as expressive in the original anime. And then the anime, they gave her a big personality that everybody just fell in love with. She was clumsy. She cried a lot. Cried over everything. Like the main trait that they mostly stuck with was the fact that she sucks at school.
Yeah.
Any other? I see a hand back up there.
I didn't like her little hair beacons and her like supersonic crying. Like, what was that about?
Yeah, like they did that in the original series. They did it once,
And that was it.
That was it. And they do that from time to time. I noticed in the show they'll have like an attack and they never use it again. Like I know I thought of something a while ago and I can't remember what it was, but something sounded weird.
It kind of reminds me of when TV Moon gets her little heart thing. It's like she only gets to use her heart attack thing so many freaking times, and then they're like sometimes doesn't work even at all, and it's like wow.
Do you mean the wand?
Her wand, when she finally gets that little wand.
Like in sugar heart attack.
Yes, and it doesn't work like so many times, and it's like
I
really?
feel
Why
like
even pull it up then?
It's like I love like the enemy would get real close, like she'd do the attack, and the enemy would get close, and then she'd like pose like she's doing it real successfully. All right. What do you think isn't going to come over from the original, other than obvious plot points and whatnot, come over from the original series that won't come over into Crystal? This guy right here.
Monster of the Week.
Monster of the Week. Yes. Filler.
Yes.
All those filler monsters.
Yep.
I'm gonna miss those. I'm gonna miss their ridiculous names. I'm gonna miss their ridiculous. I don't want to say stupid.
Every
but-
situation is goes back to Usagi and her friends for some reason.
Like, oh, I just met this doctor
Yeah.
and the bad guy throws
Yeah,
like
go.
syringes. Like,
Yeah.
Or the vacuum cleaner monster.
Yeah.
You were here.
I didn't realize it when I saw the first episode of Crystal until I saw a post on Tumblr. But no more Tuxedo Mask Roses and cat and cheesy phrases.
Oh god, the speeches were the best, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the speeches.
Kind of like the Batman doing like the cape thing, but like the Crystal one, he's like doing this. I was like,
Racists and everything. Just everything. Something I never understood, like maybe I'm sorry, I'll get to it in a moment. Something I never understood, like again, I haven't read all the manga completely, but Sailor Moon's original transformation in the manga, she gets a mask with her outfit, but at the beginning of each transformation, she's like, never mind. Yeah, so like, I'm like, obviously they didn't include the mask in Crystal, at least from what I remember, probably not. So like, I just never understood why she didn't throw that mask off. Big enough.
I think that's
No, it's you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have like two things I gotta say now.
What?
Okay, the reference to what we just said right now. I think the reason why she had that mask is because in the transformation in the manga is because if you remember in the show when the little masquerade happened back in the Crystal Kingdom when she was younger, she wore a mask. She wore a mask the day she got her compact the first time. She wore a mask and then later the kingdom fell. So I'm like, symbolic to the fact that she wore a mask and like tuxedo mask that way.
You're ready for that question.
So,
And then you had another one?
yeah, and then I was like, what was it? I feel like I'm gonna miss, I know this is gonna be like, people are gonna be like, wait a minute, that was so in the beginning of Sailor Moon, but I'm gonna miss Alan and
Alan and Anne, the aliens?
yeah, I'm gonna miss them. Pegasus. I think Pegasus does show up back again. I can't remember. That Pegasus shows up hopefully, and I know that the Starlights show up again, but I'm like gonna miss the Seiya Usagi pairing war.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that whole. Should you go with Darian? Should you go with Seiya? I'm gonna miss that.
I like Seiya just because he's hot. Anyway,
Even though he's a chick.
you had.
isn't it like the mask like significant? Like the first like incarnation of Sailor Moon was codenamed Sailor V. She wore a mask.
Technically, yeah, Sailor V, codename Sailor V was the manga that came out before
Yeah.
Sailor Moon, and then it carried over. so that could have some judgment too. I'm not the
Yeah,
the
that
guy
was
for
like a
this.